FPS looks fine. Yeah, I don't know why it's telling me I have like 14 to 15 frames per second when it looks fine to me too. So I don't know why OBS is lying to me. Hey, you're Omega. How's it going? We're gonna try and stream Magic or stick with Hearthstone. Hearthstone for now. We'll see. We'll see. My favorite is the people that are like, I stream in HD 60 frames per second. And it's like, yeah, the human eye can handle like 30 to 32 frames per second. What is wrong with you? Like, superhumans see at 36 frames per second. What are you doing at 60, man? Looks much better. Yeah, and if I can handle this, then I will, then I'll up it more. No, I'm at 1200 now. I didn't want to go from whatever I had at 8 or 900 up to 1500. I'd rather like inch it up and see how it goes. Have you ever played Soulforge? I played Soulforge when it was in the beta, before beta. I played it when I was like hanging out with Kibler and P. Sully in California at their respective homes before it was an entity. Is the only time I've ever played Soulforge. Yeah, since I'm partnered, I have quality options, so. Writing all those storylines about the left lane versus the middle right lane and things that were forced to run into each other. I don't really know about the lore of that game. Oh, I almost knocked my lamp over and I caught it like Spider-Man. Go into a match against the innkeeper? I don't know if I can handle that guy. Is it still in beta? I thought they were out of beta. I will say I was once playing poker at the Bellagio, and I look over and like a guy a couple tables over to me is like on his iPad playing Soulforge. I took a picture and tweeted it at Kibler. And his only response was like, I wish that like your camera could take better pictures so I could see how his game was going. It's still in open beta. Yeah, I didn't know if it was released yet or not. It seems like it's been in beta for a while if it's still in beta. It's released now? Alright. I have a bunch of like free draft things if anybody wants those. If anybody plays Soulforge and hasn't used one of those free draft things, let me know. I can get you one of those little coupons that they give out at Star City events. All right, I think we're ready to start. Yeah, Kibler played like the Kickstarter tournament, so I assume it's in open beta. Storyline in a nutshell is that there are four gods engaging in a proxy war with an invading demon who was cast down from their ranks many millennia ago. All right, I buy it. West in the house. All right, you guys ready to do this thing? So, the way that I do Arena on stream is if I have Mage as an option, I choose Mage. And if I have an three non-Mage options, I open it up to a straw poll. If you're curious, my tier rankings are Mage, Rogue, big drop off, Shaman, Paladin. Most people have Paladin third and Shaman fourth. I have those flipped. I think the Paladin was third before Next Rammus, and Shaman has overtaken them just a bit. Shaman, Paladin. What's next? Druid, Priest, Warlock, Warrior, Hunter. Do I live near Mandalay Bay or other side of the strip/city? I live pretty close to Mandalay Bay. Like, if you beeline from my house to the strip, the closest casino is like Venetian and the Wynn. That end of the strip. And Mandalay Bay is like that side of the strip, but way more central. Yes, I have Warlock over Warrior. The Win Axe is obviously insane. So is the Weaponsmith, but the hero power is just too bad. The Warlock hero power is so much better, but the Warrior class cards are so much better.
You asked for it.
Anyway, let's do this. Well, off to a hilarious start with the triple unplayable legendary. Yeah, I mean, Captain Greenskin is not a thing in Mage. Millhouse Mana Storm is like actively bad, so I guess we just Tink Master, and it's like a really bad, weird polymorph. You can definitely create scenarios where it does something, where it's like, hold on.
I got you garlic rolls. I didn't know if you wanted cheesy garlic bread or garlic rolls, but...
Alright. I'm really not hungry.
Yeah, I mean, I got a sandwich and fries, and then I got you garlic rolls.
Yeah, and it's like $30.
17.
Did you PayPal it on my account?
No. Pay with cash.
Cash? Okay. Thanks. So yeah, there are definitely scenarios where you can Tink Master like profitably. Like if you have a 1/1 as your only minion or whatever, then it's like kind of a free roll. And if they have an 8/8 as their only minion, as the only minion on board, it's kind of a free roll. Or it's a really good free roll, but those scenarios don't come up too often, but you can sort of navigate them. But yeah, I'm just going to take Tink Master because I think Millhouse is pretty bad. Flame Strike is like one of the best, if not the best, common in all of Arena. Mana Worm and Loot Hoarder are both quite strong early drops, but not taking them over Flame Strike. For how strong Flame Strike that last pack was, this pack is equally as bad. Shield Bearer is unplayable. Argent Squire is quite poor, so we have to take Stormwind Knight. The problem with Stormwind Knight is Mage has a lot of really good 4-drops. In addition to the premium neutral commons, you know, Yeti, Dark Iron Dwarf, Ascension Shield Master, Cult Master, Gnomish Inventor. There's just like a million really solid 4-drops. And then you also have Water Elemental, Fireball, and Polymorph. Even though Polymorph and Fireball aren't necessarily 4-drops, you have a lot of premium 4-drops, so you don't want to take mediocre to bad 4-drops if you don't have to. Pretty much in any class, you'll see like on my tier list and most people's tier lists, you'll see 4-drops, the non-premium 4-drops ranked quite low, and the reason is because 4 is a really, really critical point in Hearthstone, in Arena, and there's a lot of classes that, in addition to all the neutrals, also have their own really strong 4-drop class cards. Like Paladin has True Silver Champion and Consecrate and Hammer of Wrath, for example. So 4-drops, generally you want to avoid them if possible, but I don't think it's possible here because Stormwind Knight is just so much better than these other two options. Plus, it's early enough that we can kind of avoid it. Acolyte of Pain is a card that can go from, like, okay to amazing. Sometimes it'll outright win the game, just give you a huge advantage. Like, it'll deal 2 damage and draw 3 cards or something absurd like that. Or it'll be, like, a bad loot hoarder. Very rarely do you not get your card back from Acolyte. Like, sometimes it'll get Kodoed or whatever, and it's unfortunate. But most of the time, Acolyte will get at least its card back. And then that's like, you're only paying a little. And then for the games, like, you're paying upfront, you know, by putting it in your deck for the dividends that you receive for the games where it draws multiple cards, and or you can, like, pump it and go ham. Or for Mage, you can use your hero power on it. So definitely a lot better in Mage than it is anywhere else. It's also quite good in Paladin because they have a lot of buffs. Hey Peach, how's it going? Fireball is premium, super strong. Not much else to say about it. Gnomish Inventor's really good, and Flesh Eating Ghoul is fine, but Fireball's just great. Wow. Remember what I was saying about mediocre 4-drops? Well, Dread Corsair is a straight up terrible 4-drop in Mage. Ice Lance is unplayable. Leopard Gnome is also unplayable, but I think it's the better of these options. Excuse me, I still got a bit of sinus stuff going on. So yeah, I guess we... Depressedly Leopard Gnome. Maybe we can slant our deck more aggressive if we get a bunch of fireballs. Raging Worgen, totally passable 3-drop that is extra good in Mage because you can hero power it to enrage it on an empty board. You just have a 4/2 Wind Fury. The new computer's sweet. I mean, I don't know. I haven't fully, like, played with all the options and set up my new overlay and everything, but as you can see, my stream's a lot higher quality, and I can actually, like, play YouTube videos and stuff, which I couldn't do with my other computer. Save it, you know, catching fire and exploding. God, the epics are so bad. The epics are so bad. BGH is passable, I guess. Thankfully, this wasn't one of those Hungry Crab, Doomsayer, you know, Murloc War Leader ones where you're like, 3/3 with downside, let's do it. Hey, Panda. Silent Spaceman says, not enough streamers do this much arena pick analysis. This is very informative. Thank you. You are most welcome. I enjoy dynamic drafting and, you know, going into why I'm doing what I'm doing a lot, especially for arena. Desktop or laptop? It is a desktop. What kind of graphics card do you have? I don't know off the top of my head because the first one that came with my computer was DOA, but and I don't know the replacement off the top of my head. But BGH, we don't have any polymorphs yet, so maybe we can make something happen with the BGH. Shattered Sun Cleric is very good. It's like, you know, top 5 commons. I think I have it 4th overall, but top 5 commons. Neutral commons, I should clarify. And then Mirror Image is quite poor, and Dragonling Mechanic is exactly what I was talking about earlier with that mediocre 4-drop. Oh, Peach, that's awesome. Congrats. But, yeah, Shattered Sun Cleric is really good, but we need 1 and 2 drops to make it work. Because we don't have any yet. Well, Deathlord's not good, and Mana Wraith is terrible, so Sunwalker it is. Sunwalker's quite strong, so I'm not disappointed. It's just, it's the only pick, so there's not much analysis to go into. We do get a Mana Worm. We don't have many cheap spells, but it's actually just fine as a 1/3 for 1 because you can use it with your hero power. Like, a 1-drop, it's unlikely that you were going to use your first mana anyway, so you're like dropping a mana a huge percentage of the time. Whereas if you have a Mana Worm on one, you don't drop that mana, and then say they play a 3/2, you spend your second turn like attacking and pinging, and you basically, since you were going to drop that first mana anyway, you're basically trading a card for a card and 2 mana for 2 mana. And then if you ever have Coin, Mana Worm is really, really strong. And if you ever have Coin and or Frostbolt, it gets even better, and it can actually snowball pretty well. Plus we have the Shattered Sun Cleric, so we want these cheap drops. If you can go like turn 1 Mana Worm, turn 2 Coin, Shattered Sun it, you're at a huge tempo advantage.
Did I tell you he offered me $100 to trade shifts with him?
No, you didn't mention that.
No. Yeah, he's paying me $100 to work his shift.
Who?
Jason.
All right.
Like, he's working mine and I'm working him.
Yeah, that's pretty absurd.
Yeah. That's why I trade.
Did you have to talk? Do we have to talk about this now?
No, I totally forgot.
Yeah.
And then
That's a good deal.
I got really excited.
Anyway, Mana Worm. Scarlet Crusader is really strong. Top 10 neutral common. It's just great. We have a lot of 3-drops though. I would still rather take the 3-drop over the 4-drop if these two were comparable power levels, because 3-drops are a lot more useful. Like on 5 you can play a 3-drop in hero power, and on 6 you can play 2 3-drops. Whereas with the 4-drop, you're 4-drop hero powering. It just opens up your options a lot more. Like, I'd rather be 2 tall curve-wise at 3 than at 4. Plus, Scarlet Crusader is just way better than Stormwind Knight. But we still need those 2-drops. Worgen Infiltrator acts like a 2-drop. You're also looking pretty good. Like, it's a huge tempo boost if you can go Worgen Infiltrator into a 2-drop. Those both die to Kodo also. Yeah. Yeah, Kodo is one of those cards that's just like... It's so scary to play like a Gurubashi Berserker or like a Myexna or something absurd where it's just like, God, if they have Kodo. Anyway, Worgen Infiltrator is like one of those cards that's super underrated. I used to have it rated in the second column of my tier list, but it got bumped down a little because of Zombie Chow, but it's still really good. Like 3-2 for 2 is like par. 3-2 for 2 is like where you start your like tempo battle, and if you have a jump on that with your Worgen Infiltrator, trade with their 3-2 for 2 and then play your own, then you're way ahead. Not only up a mana, but up on board. So people are asking, is Archmage bad? No, Archmage is fine. It's just not as good as Worgen Infiltrator. I'm not going to take a 6-drop that is of similar or slightly lesser power level than the 1-drop. When in doubt, when 2 cards are like hand in hand, you want to go for the cheaper one generally, because it'll allow you to maneuver a lot more in the early game, not fall behind on board, and then late game you can combine it by doing multiple things in a turn, use it with your hero power, stuff like that. So when in doubt, go with the cheaper card, generally speaking. Obviously, that's not a hard and fast rule, or every deck would look like, you know, all 1s and 2s, but... Anyway, we needed a 2-drop, and Pyromancer is a passable 2-drop. It's a 3-2 for 2 with slight upside, slight potential upside. So, yeah. The other 2 are unplayable. But we do need 2-drops, so that's good. And another Brewmaster is a great 2-drop, because it hits that sweet spot of 3-2 for 2, but then also has utility late game. What do we have for it so far? The Scarlet Crusader reset the shield. Shattered Sun Cleric reset the pump. Tink Master reset the Squirrel Devil Sword trigger. And Stormwind Knight refill its toughness. Sunwalker refill its Divine Shield and toughness. Brewmaster is a little awkward with 1-drops because you can set yourself back on tempo. And we do have 3 1-drops, but it's still worth it. Well, then. Not too happy about this. The more Brewmasters you get, the weaker they are. Obviously, because they have pretty steep diminishing returns. But Owl is really bad. Mirror Image is really bad. And we only have 1 Brewmaster and we have a couple of uses for it. It's not like we need Owl since we have BGH, Tink Master, and Fireball so far, plus a lot of shots at Polymorphs. So I'm just going to take the 4-drop. Again, this is another example of like a mediocre 4-drop. I could also see making an argument for Mirror Image since we do have a bit of an aggressive stance going, and it works well with the Mana Worm. Like, a lot of really good snowbally mage starts are like Mana Worm, turn 2, like 2-drop coin, Mirror Image, attack for 3, something like that. But I think Owl's pretty weak. It's like on the lower end of playability, whereas Ancient Brewmaster is like in the middle of playability. So we'll go with that. Oh no! All 3 of these cards are excellent. Chillwind Yeti is like one of the best cards in the game. Silverhand Knight is hyper efficient, top 10 common, top 10 neutral common. And then Frostbolt is like, I can't even describe how efficient Frostbolt is. Plus, we have the Mana Worm. I want all 3 of these so bad. We've had like all these packs with 3 unplayables, 3 unplayables, 2 unplayables, and a mediocre card, and then like 3 premiums. Oh no. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. I think we have to take Frostbolt, which is a shame, because Chillwind Yeti is so damn good. But we already have a couple 4-drops. We have, like, no spells. We need it for this Mana Worm. I would say Frostbolt is generally slightly worse than Yeti. Frostbolt's definitely better than Silverhand Knight. And I would say Yeti is generally slightly better. But for our deck, with the Mana Worm, the aggressive stance, we already have a couple 4-drops. I think I'm just going to take the Frostbolt. Mana Worm, you better impress. I don't pass Yetis often, let me tell you that much. Another super weak pack. See, why can't these cards be spread out? It's brutal. We got a Razorfen Hunter, I guess. Maybe we just Nightblade because we have no 5-drops and a couple of Brewmasters. Sigh. I don't mind it with our aggressive stance and no 5-drops. I usually have Nightblade ranked so low, but this might be a time where I take it over the completely passable Razorfen Hunter. Alright, let's Blade in the Night. El Tigre Grande. Super excellent. I have him ranked a few steps above Fen Creeper, and Gurbash Berserker is way lower, although it is slightly higher in Mage because you can ping it. But I still have it ranked lower than Tiger. It is funny that these are all 5-drops. After I was just like, we don't have any 5-drops. And now we have 3, because Sludge Belcher is super awesome. Just hyper efficient. We don't even have any taunts yet. We have some stuff that goes well with it, like the Brewmasters. The other 2 cards were terrible. Speaking of terrible, my god. Do we have to Core Hound? I really don't want to Core Hound. I guess we Squire. We have a couple Brewmasters. We don't have anything to use the body with. We don't have any, like, Dark Iron Dwarfs, Abusive Sergeants, Direwolf Alphas. We have 1 Shattered Sun. AJ Shady asks in Arena, should I go Death, Circle of Healing, or Undertaker? Shadow or Death by far. The other 2 cards are borderline unplayable, and Shadow or Death is like borderline premium. Squire versus... God, this is not a pick I wanted to have to make this draft. Alright, we'll take the aggressive stance still. See if we can convert some games. Since our power level is so low, the best way to sort of like close a gap in power level is to just take the aggressive stance and try and get there. More mediocre 4-drops. I think I like Silvermoon more than Razorfen here. Even though generally Razorfen's slightly better, but this curve differential, plus we have 2 Brewmasters to reset the Divine Shield. Huh. Grafenwalder. Oh my god, it's been a minute. How's it going, buddy? We have enough cheap drops I think we can trade off. Get Flesh-Eating Ghoul rolling. Don't really want to take the War Golem. I would have loved for this to be the Ogre, the 6/7 for 6. But the 7/7 for 7 is just too much. Thank you, thank you. I got this sort of like coif thing going because I haven't gotten a haircut in a while, so it's kind of growing out. My god, these packs. My god, these packs. Alright, I guess it's War Golem time. I don't care how aggressively your stance. I don't think I want 2 Leper Gnomes. It's not like we have the multi-fireball deck that can really just zerg people down. Just blitz them down and burn them out. If we had like 3 fireballs and 2 frostbolts, I'd be like, yeah, let's just get them to 0. But that is not the case. Loot Hoarder is more like it. Aggressively stanced, but actually of quality. Plays well with our Flesh-Eating Ghoul. I mean, I don't mind the Frostwolf guy, but we need 2 drops way more than we need 5 drops. This is just Violet Teacher. Even though we don't have that many spells, it's still just the best card. Water Ellie. There we go. This is what we're talking. This is what a 4-drop looks like. Forget this like Brewmaster, Silvermoon Guardian, Stormwind Knight nonsense. This is what a 4-drop looks like. This thing is nice. Water Elemental is like busted in Arena. Mad Scientist. We don't have any secrets yet. We only have 2 more picks after this, one of which is a rare. There's a couple rare secrets that are borderline playable, Counterspell and Vaporize. And Spellbender at Epic is also almost playable. I really don't want the 3rd Brewmaster, though. Maybe we just Spiteful Smith. Do we have enough 2-drops? We only have 3 2-drops, but we have 4 1-drops. Yeah, the big toughness makes it good with the two brewmasters that we do have. Alright, I'll take it, but watch me get, like, duplicate and something else. Duplicate, counterspell in my next 2 packs. God damn it. Oh, that's such a shame. Well, we're not taking duplicate because all of our cheap minions suck. And we don't even have that many good, more expensive minions. Although it is like the hard lock with Sludge Belcher. Duplicate Sludge Belcher is brutal. You go like turn 3 duplicate, turn 4 coin Belcher. But that doesn't seem like our territory. So maybe we just mirror entity. It's a spell for Pyromancer, which isn't that great, but Mana Worm and helps you stay up on tempo while developing. It's a spell for the Violet Teacher. I don't really want another 5-drop. Maybe I do. Sigh. This draft has been abysmal. We'll still probably get to 7 wins because we have a Fireball, a Flame Strike, and a Water Elemental. And that's all it takes sometimes. But this deck is definitely not good. And I really don't like Mirror Entity, and I think Frostwolf is actually quite strong, but... I guess just Alchemist. I really don't want the 3-drop. Alchemist might be able to do something. We have a couple of cute things to flip. Plus, you can just use it as like a weird combat trick. Like make your Acolyte trade with something. Or whatever. Plus, it is technically a 2-drop if you're curving into Flesh-Eating Ghoul. Sigh. Lay sigh. Yeah, it works with the BGH sometimes too. It's true. Alright. Yeah, this deck is not good, but... Gun to my head. 6 wins. Maybe 5. But I'm hoping to get to 7. Watch me just 12-0 now. Or 0-3. Both are on the table. But... let's do it. Six wins is optimistic. I don't know. I mean, you have, like, the 2nd or 3rd best hero power in the game. And we have a couple of good class cards, so... Plus, you have some aggressive draws.
Jaina versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine.
I don't know. I think the deck has a lot of holes in it. It's Mage 9 wins easy. That's kind of what I'm feeling like. It's a 4-3 deck. Don't know. Don't know. Don't have a good answer for you. I think I'm just going to keep this, though. Mage hero power is the best in the game, not even close. You are incorrect. If we're talking arena only, I think it's the 2nd best after Rogue. And if we're talking about constructed, it's Warlock, and then Rogue, and then a mile until the next one.
The light protects me.
Ah, my foot's asleep now. That's what I get for crossing my legs. Let me get the deck list up for you guys too. Oh my god, all these one drops. Oh, we're super far ahead on board, and it's gonna be kind of hard for him to stabilize. Yeah, in constructive, Warlock is the best hero power by a million years. Is Druid a good class? They're all good in their own way.
Your magic shall not save you.
Oh, Wisp boys. Wait, what? I have a workin'. What are you doing, guy? I guess I preserved the workin', right?
I fight.
What did I do with these? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Drain Life is a bit unfortunate, but we still have really strong follow-up. And we're still way down on life. Pause one moment.
Get behind
Yeah,
me.
get behind my big old booty.
Suffer!
Don't see any need to deviate. Could have gotten Trixie with our Shattered Sun Cleric and a ping on this and maintain the 4/6. Doesn't seem worth it though. Although that's one consideration. Maybe I should have for exactly that play.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
Probably Flame Striking next turn, so I guess I should just Nightblade. But if I Shattered Sun this, my idea was if I Shattered Sun this and he attacks it, then I can ping the Dread Infernal. Alright, I don't mind that.
Must cleanse the Sunwell.
We'll just put him under a lot of pressure from his life total. We have like 3 points of burn in our hand and a couple of burn spells in our deck, plus our hero power, plus shutting down his hero power. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Oh my god, I can BGH it now. I actually can't. I'm a mana short of Flame Strike Ping.
What to do? What to do?
I could play Festering Ghoul, trade these two here, ping the Dread Infernal. Or trade one in Flame Strike, hit for 3. I bet we can Flame Strike later.
I wonder.
Could hit here, Flame Strike, hit for 3. He's at 7 and I can deal 3. 4 more. Man. Like, the Frostbolt is the only difference maker. Fireball doesn't matter here. I mean, Frostbolt matters. Fireball is, like, lethal either way. Because it's not like I only have one turn. And it's not like he's going to have, like, a consistent chain of life gain. Although it is possible, but... I don't think that there's as much of a sense of urgency as it may seem there is. Alright, that's unfortunate, not only because he got to kill our thing, but I kind of expected that to die, but because this thing. Although Nightblade is nice. Or Brewmaster with Nightblade, I mean.
What to do? What
They'll
to
never know what.
Drink with me, friend.
They'll never know what hit them. Next time they'll know. They'll see the next one coming, I think. Alright, almost got the deck list. Sorry, guys.
To Northrend!
To Northrend! He's trying. 14? We could definitely die. Let's just draw Fireball, Frostbolt. I could go ping Flame Strike. I could just Flame Strike like just this and ping face. So he only has 10. Pretty hard for him to deal 8, right? We're kind of dead to life gain then, but... I don't see any need to ping Nightblade. What does that accomplish? Nightblade being in play doesn't matter.
I wonder.
Flamestrike Ping Face seems like a almost strictly better version.
Time runs out on me.
And then even if he has life gain, it seems really hard for him to kill me here. And then even if he has life gain, we still have another draw at 2 outs. Likely 2 outs to burn him.
To Northrend!
Yes, we were very close to dying. No Earthen Ring? Alright, we got there.
They'll never know.
The game was a lot closer than it should have been, but it's because I played into that Dread Infernal that one turn where my board was X1 Divine Shield guy. It's just like the most Dread Infernal board I've